Hello and welcome to Applicata Biblia. My name is Mark. Thanks so much for stopping by. We're going to talk a little bit about an unlikely person to do God's will, and that person is named Ruth. Now, Ruth lived during the days of the judges. During that time, there's a woman named Naomi and her family. She has two sons with her husband. There's a famine in the land, and they go to Moab. Now, Moab was horrible towards God. They had horrible gods. They had horrible practices in their idolatry, but they go there because there's a place where they can live and they can eat. Okay, that's the thing. And so they go there, then they find two brides for their sons. They get married, and eventually all the men of the family die. So Naomi goes to her daughters-in-law and she says to them, look, I can't give you anything. I'm going to go back and I'm going to be destitute. You need to go back to your families. You're still young. You can still have families and husbands. And one of them says, okay, I'll do that. But Ruth, she says, no, I'm not leaving. And I will make your God my God. She says, I'll make your people my people and your God will be my God. That is extraordinary. What faith she had. So she goes back to Bethlehem. And remember, Naomi is destitute. Ruth says, I'm going to go out into the fields and glean. Now, gleaning was for poor people who don't have their own fields. While your servants were gathering in the crops, if they dropped something, a poor person you left it there so a poor person could pick it up. Boaz has heard about Ruth, and he's impressed with her faith and how she has attached herself to a destitute woman and is helping her. So he helps her in return, right? Because Naomi is in the family of Boaz. And so Ruth goes home and she has all this food and she goes, who's doing this? And she says, Boaz. And she says, oh, okay. So eventually she tells Ruth, you go lay down. When everybody's asleep, you lay down at his feet and tell him you're going to give yourself to him as his wife. She does that. Boaz wakes up and goes, whoa, what's going on? And so he says, okay, that's fine. So he sends her away in the morning before everybody wakes up because they didn't want gossip. And eventually he barters for her because there was somebody else who could redeem her to be his wife. So Ruth marries Boaz. And let's remember, this is in Bethlehem. She's in the lineage of Jesus the Christ. God does extraordinary things through ordinary people. Think about that. We'll see you in the next one.